Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how I make meatloaf. What I have, I'm actually going to make meatloaf with some roasted vegetables. What I have is a pound of meat, ground beef, and then a small onion or about a half of an onion diced up and one celery stalk diced up. You want to add salt, and this is going to really just be to your taste. So I'm going to put probably about just a teaspoon of salt and some pepper. Probably about another teaspoon, and about half of a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. You want to make sure your hands are clean, of course, and then just mix it up. For my binding agent, I'm going to use 1 egg, and instead of breadcrumbs or you can use crackers, anything like that, I'm going to use oatmeal. So now, I'm not left-handed, so that might be ugly. And then I'm going to put I'm start with a cup of oatmeal and see how that mixes in. So I've used about a cup and a half of oatmeal. And it looks like that's going to hold it together. And what I do next is just kind of shape it into a loaf. Here's what the meatloaf looks like right now. And all that is a pound of ground beef, cup and a half of oats, and then a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and salt and pepper. So I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees and cook it for about 30 minutes. And I'll show you how I make the roasted vegetables next. I have a ton of these squash, just the white button squash, and this one's gotten pretty big. So I'm going to use this and some mixed vegetables. I have my potatoes from the garden, just a couple different types of potatoes, and then also one sweet potato and some radishes. I've cut the radishes in half, diced up the sweet potatoes, and I also have carrots in here as well. And I've just kind of cut them up in bite sizes, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. So I'm just going to cut it in half and then basically just make bite-sized pieces. Oh, it's so big. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to put a lot of seasoning on these. I have some fresh rosemary that I'll throw in here. Probably about a tablespoon probably about a half a tablespoon of salt. Probably going to use about a half a tablespoon of most of these ingredients. That's pepper, oregano, some basil, garlic powder. I would use fresh garlic, but I don't have any garlic right now, so. And you can use fresh onions as well. I really don't want the onions in this. I want it to be more about the potatoes and the radishes, so I'm going to use onion powder and thyme. A little bit of cayenne pepper, just a little bit of that. And then I'm going to drizzle it with, olive oil. And I have just a baking pan with some aluminum foil on here. I'm going to mix this in real good. You can use whatever you have in season to make this as well. And if you don't like rosemary or you don't like oregano, just omit it. Put whatever you want in it, really. The rosemary is kind of dominating, but I like rosemary, so. Oh, man down. So I have carrots, I have sweet potato, russet potato, Yukon Gold potatoes, carrots, radishes, and that's it, looks like. Oh, and the squash. Man down again. I'm going to have more on my floor than I'm going to have on my plate. Here's what the vegetables look like. And I'll put that in the oven for probably about 30-45 minutes. I just want to get it until they're kind of soft and a little bit of brown. After about 40 minutes of the meatloaf in the oven at 350 degrees, what I did is I put a cup of ketchup and probably about a fourth of a cup of A1, and mix that together, put it on top of the meatloaf, and then put it back in the oven for about another 10 to 15 minutes. So the total cook time was almost an hour. I'll let it rest just for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to show you how I plate it up. Here's how I plate it up, or serve it. It's a real basic recipe, real simple ingredients. Most of it's from the garden, and I hope you all enjoy it. Thanks for watching.